My call sign is Junga, and currently I am an FPV operator. My teenage years coincided with the start of the full-scale war, and I had the thought that I didn't want to just sit at home waiting for something to hit my house. In my opinion, the best part of our job is when we have a few free minutes. In the evening, you can, sit down, have an energy drink, and wait for a juicy target. Basically, to hunt for the prey, so to speak. The most memorable work is against enemy soldiers, when you can clearly see their silhouettes and faces. But of course, hitting equipment like mortars is more prestigious and is considered as a fatter target. Still, direct hits on infantry are the most memorable. Recently, we hit a shelter that turned out to be an ammo depot. It was a small building. The ammo detonated and burned down two neighboring buildings. Our schedule varies a lot. Sometimes we are here for 3 days, sometimes for a week. We have no fixed schedule like everyone else in this war. This summer we were staying for 2 weeks at one point. I can't say it was too bad. The most uncomfortable part was, of course, inability to wash. In summer, I'd go to a spot, undress, wash, and pray no one would pass by. Winters are cold and unpleasant. All our work is in dirt. When you return, the first thing you do is wash off all the dirt and freshen up. I think every soldier wants to look presentable when he or she is not at the front. A nice manicure adds speed to trench digging. Sleep comes when it can. We split the night in 2-hour shifts. Of course, you might go to bed, but in 10 minutes you should be combat ready, because the situation might change when you need to be on your feet. Well, of course I do everyone's laundry. We order the food, sushi delivery to our positions. They deliver it directly to our dugouts. Just kidding. Initially, the attitude to me was indeed as to a child. Of course, no one expected anything serious. But after some combat missions and showing quality work, the attitude changed to a full-fledged crew member. For example, I can't lift as much weight as the guys can. And that's completely normal because they understand our situation and see that I'm working just a couple of meters away from them. A soldier in the shop met me in the uniform and asked where in the army and why such a person as I am can be. But I was with my comrades, who quickly explained that I was coming from the front line and doing my job. There is a saying, the further from the front, the more patriotic. And that's exactly what I experienced firsthand. When I'm at the positions, there are no complaints about my work or gender. I only hear criticism from people in safe places, usually unrelated to the war. It can happen, of course. It's clear when people without rotations don't see other women. But I don't think it's anything serious. It's more like jokes that need to be stopped in time before they go too far. Sometimes I might respond a bit harshly and it all stops very quickly. I believe I'm a good FPV pilot and an asset to this unit. Well, I haven't killed people before. I never had moments when I strongly regretted joining the military. But like everyone else, when you're exhausted, sleep-deprived, and things aren't working out, I might feel a little angry with myself. However, I think that's completely normal. It happens to everyone. And I don't regret my choice at all. I have no regrets about signing the contract at 18. I've only become more disciplined and better at my job over all this time. Give me a can of energy drink, I'll take on anyone, honestly, and Snickers too. I enjoy my work, so I don't regret that my best years and youth are spent in this place at this time and on this job. The hardest part is not seeing family and closest friends, being unable to leave the combat zone, and rarely meeting loved ones. My family isn't thrilled with my decision, as they worry a lot about me being in the war zone, but they still understand and support it. I was already independent before coming of age. I had some income and didn't rely on my parents, so they couldn't really talk me out of it. After the war ends, I still plan to stay in the military. I've chosen a military career as my life plan. I've signed my second contract, so I'm here for the long haul. I want Dyson, Browning, and I don't know what else. I can't say I'll celebrate a Women's Day holiday this year. It's not really relevant right now, but I expect some nice moments as I usually get flowers on this day. That is pleasant for any woman. It's different when you're at the front line fighting the enemy. And it's another thing when you return, wash it all off, and you're just a civilian like everyone else. You want to do your nails, lashes, and feel feminine, because here I'm a warrior first, but I'm still a girl. I don't have a strongly negative attitude towards those who evade the draft, but I think their help on the front would be really very valuable now. One day there will be nowhere to run. That's why their help would be more useful now to prevent the enemy from reaching their homes. We shouldn't expect that to happen. People coming from civilian life are always afraid they will immediately be sent into the infantry assaults and that it's a quick death. But many roles in the military depend on existing positions that currently do not have personnel to fill them. Of course, in every unit, especially ours, recruiters take into account what you did in civilian life before the war, which skills you possess. For example, if you're an experienced programmer, you won't be thrown into the infantry if you don't want to. There will be no prejudice whatsoever. Right now, we're truly looking for people who are willing to do their military work.